We've got drug doctor, plant collecting poison woman, elf woman, criminal. We've got obviously hemp farmer, Northern Californian serpentines, and obviously a pet shop used as a front for the distribution of said product. Sorry, it all snaps together in my head.
I have something I want to fill in a little bit about.
Absolutely.
The last couple of months, which is that I think after a certain time of getting her feet on the ground, Christabelle will kind of start, I don't know, reading Elven newspapers or broadsheets or whatever the relevant media is, but just trying to track what is going on with the Nomad Hill folklore and what the Elven establishment editorial perspective is on it.
Okay, that sounds like...
And, what exactly is... Like, is it common knowledge in the Elven Empire that the Elven Empire is intervening in the conflict, or what's the deal with that?
Okay, sensible question. I think this will be, if you're looking for written sources, I have no problem with, I'm sure they must have newspapers in Tourmaline, it's a place, broadsides or mad people handing out notes on a corner.
How magical is Tourmaline on a daily basis?
Tourmaline is very magical on a daily basis. I was thinking about this earlier. They definitely have elves busy making certain it doesn't rain in the wrong place. And that,
okay.
Well, maybe there's little globes that you go and look into, and they tell you all the latest.
Right. Yes. Well, so she definitely have globes they look into to see what's going on.
Right. That I get.
Don't know. I don't think they would share that. That seems the implication is that's not what they would share, even with other elf folk. Never mind. I am picturing lovingly hand drawn and calligraphy communications, which I suppose if you're a long lived elf, a few hours spent writing out the news to hand on to other people. And I imagine they probably get handed on round people in a sort of round robin way, or like an old whatchamaflip that people used to do for champions back in the day, which I've got the name of. So yes, that sort of thing happened, as well as gossip. And so I'm going around in circles really to decide whether to commit or some other sort of
there's some Flintstones way of reading the news on it.
Yes, in lovingly handmade zines. So give me a literacy roll to see what you've been reading of an evening in the local. Share their news.
Where would literacy be? Oh, there it is.
Literacy.
Oh no!
If it's terrible and you want to do it as you've been talking to people, finding out the gossip on the dots, that would be a different sort of role. So tell me which one you want.
I'll just do the literacy. Let's see how it goes. Oh boy, that is feeble.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe I just haven't learned Elvish.
You just reminded me. There's probably a bonus or penalty. Because there is a table of how difficult different languages are to read. Oh, no, so that's to understand. So, what did you get?
Feeble.
Okay, so based on this list, elf language is one of the more difficult. It's not, well, none of them you would have passed with a fit, but I don't think it's you can't read any Elvish. I think it's more that the elves of Tourmaline, who are lovingly handcrafting the news, aren't apparently interested in the goings on in Hillfolkton. And so the vague hints of news that might be in there that allow you to piece together anything that's happening. Feel like there should be a more.
Okay. Well, we just wanted to orient.
I think what definitely happens is that Spring Lightning, when he understands what you're interested in, is just sneery about these inferior peoples and their weird goings on.
Wow.
But on the other hand, he brings in all the business. So
kind of a douche move, Spring Lightning. Jesus. If you didn't have all the connections. One of these days.
Oh man, sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to upset you. I'm sure your people are lovely.
Yeah.
We're good friends, aren't we? And he's smiling at you and.
Yeah, you're great.
You're one of the good ones, I guess, right?
Go find me some more old ladies with cats, Spring.
Do you want to pursue this in other directions? Because I'm happy to.
Well,
because I am sad enough that I could probably give you all sorts of information about what's been happening. If you could find someone to tell you, or some way of finding out, or if you knew someone with divination who could look and find out for you.
Well, the only thing I mean, in terms of orient, I sort of just wanted to see what I knew before I do anything like write a letter to my sister.
Okay,
so I guess I don't know anything.
You are frustrated in your ability to find elves being interested in it, and Tourmaline. You know, if it doesn't happen in the city, it doesn't happen. I guess is maybe the message we're getting from them. As I say, there are other ways you could try and find out. Maybe that one. And you haven't found anything out in the previous few months. Perhaps sounds like you're starting to, feel a bit homesick for it.
Maybe so.
But if you want to try other ways of finding that, that's the thing you can do. But it will be a happening now sort of a thing rather than has happened in the previous few months.
Right.
Does that seem fair?
Yeah, that's fine. Actually, that might be a good segue into a scene where I'm visiting Shining Star at her convent or whatever it is.
Do you have a standing girls' night when you meet up?
At Dana stuff?
At the temple or somewhere else or whatever? I'm just
or nearby.
There is a Tuesday night get together.
Is it kind of you meet up with the girls for a bit and then later on you have to run off and go and dance around? So let's say that's tonight if you want to go and meet up. Does Grrl show up for this, or has she got other things on her mind?
Well, I think Grrl would show up, and I think at the meeting, Grrl would certainly pass on that I've been collecting herbs at a particular spot, but it seems like somebody doesn't want me in that area anymore, and there have been new pit traps freshly made.
To catch you. Well, maybe you ought to go and gather up the pot leaves somewhere else. There's got to be other places, right?
Well, I suppose, but this was it doesn't belong to anybody. It's just out there in the middle of the woods. And
well, we've come quite a ways from Smith City and all of the troubles there. I mean, and everything you were into before was all far to the south of there. So it seems impossible that any, serpentines or nomads or anybody like that would even know who you were. I mean, granted, you're you, but still, I mean, who would know you here?
Well, now that you mention that, that Dr. Siboku.
Yes.
So
sinister-looking fellow from the ship.
Yes.
Dr. Sambuca, yes.
Yeah, I ran into him briefly, and he did make some comment that my reputation was known here. I, at the time, didn't really think that, didn't understand how that could be the case. I'm so new here, but
so what kind of traps were they?
They were freshly made pit traps with snakes at the bottom of them. Little snakes. I didn't really stay around to commune with them, but I'm assuming that they were dangerous. Why else would they put them at the bottom of a pit trap?
Right. Well, and you haven't done anything dreadful like get in trouble or kill anybody or anything?
No, I've been clean. I've been clean in a matter of speaking. I've really just been interested in kind of checking out the area around the city, and have been out collecting herbs and doing some meditation.
Well, I've been more or less doing the same thing on my own for some, as well, so I know how you feel. However, nobody's trying to trap me with snakes, and it just makes me worried that our difficulties with serpentines. Now, you ran into some serpentine difficulties in Smith City. I never did get that whole saga straight from that interesting couple of days you spent running around Smith City by yourself. I seem to remember there was something about serpentines in there.
Yeah, they were running a animal. An atrocious operation involving betting on animals put into fights.
Right. Yeah, Christabelle wouldn't like that much, would she? Would you want to deal with this in a proactive way?
Well, when I found the traps, one of them almost got me. I luckily kept myself from falling to the bottom. I haven't been back, but it is a curious thing. It's not like I'm going to take all of the supply of the herbs out there. Somebody clearly, I think, knows though that it's a pretty remote little place that I went to out there, and I think somebody clearly has taken note of my presence out there.
Yeah, this sounds pretty personal, though. Okay, well, let me ask around a little bit. I have contacts and all manner of opportunities to find things out. So, Ross, should I, over the course of, do you want to close this, and over the course of time, maybe try some contacts rolling?
Yeah, we'll come back to that in a moment, because I believe Christabelle is also here and joining in. I don't know if she had anything she wants.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you have to, but...
Well, I was just going to tell Shining Star that it's been weighing on my mind that I can't get any news from home up here. Just wish I knew what was going on down there.
Well,
because
okay. Well, I could try to do some information gathering.
I'd appreciate anything you could find out. I don't. There's no need to do anything incriminating, but just if you happen to overhear.
Speaking of, how's business?
Oh, it's great. They really seem to live their pets up here. We trouble getting into the groove here. No, it's great. It's great.
Okay. Okay, Ross, should I go ahead and try a contacts roll?
Yes. So you have your evening of dancing around under the moonlight and stuff like that. And
Right.
happy and refreshed after this, by the way. Just to paint the scene a bit more.
I am okay with being happy and refreshed. I am, however, not particularly happy with an inferior contacts roll.
Oh.
So I don't really find much out.